Let's get started with the MoGraph. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the MoGraph cloner object, which is sort of the heart of the whole module. You can notice in and of itself, the cloner does nothing. It needs something to act upon, so let's go ahead and put a sphere in the scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the sphere and I'm going to put it underneath the cloner. And immediately you can see that something's happened. Let's go ahead and scale the sphere down a little bit. There we go. We zoom up on this so that we can see what's happening. So by default, the cloner clones the sphere. And if we click on the cloner and come over here to the attributes menu, we can see that we have a lot of parameters over here. The default mode for the cloner object is linear. So it's just duplicating these in a linear fashion, straight up. Now, if we come over to the count, we can increase the number of clones. So now we have 53, and you can see that. All of these parameters are animatable. Okay, so you can go down to 0 and back up. You can also control the offset. So if we bring this up, we can see what's going on there. Let's go ahead and bring that back down. It controls where it starts here at the beginning. Let me just show you that again. So if I'm controlling the offset, it's how far from this initial point in the clone that these clones start to duplicate. Take that back to 0. The amount is going to be the distance between the clones. So we can take that up, and you can see we start to get the distance there, and you can take that well beyond 100. And you can take it down to 0 and negative numbers as well. Take that back to 100. Now let's go ahead and drop a cube in the scene, and let's scale that down. Now if I take the cube and drop it underneath the cloner, then you can see we are cloning both of our objects now. Click on the cloner again. And it's just going to clone those cube, sphere, cube, sphere, cube, sphere. And if we come up here and change this parameter from itinerate to random, you can see we start to get some different output over here with our clones, depending on which one of these we choose. Let's go back to itinerate. Now we can control the position, scale, and rotation of our individual clones as well, right over here, just like you would with any other Cinema 4D object. We come over to transform. We can also control the overall clone itself. Now let's come back over here to the object again and take a look at some of these different modes that we have. So this is linear. We have an object mode. We'll talk about that in a second. We have radial, and we can adjust that radius and control the number of clones we have again. And we have a grid array, which basically makes a grid of clones. And again, we can control the amount and the distance between them by affecting these parameters. Okay. This is the basics of the cloner object here in Cinema 4D, a very powerful tool.